years old. He's been missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. And everybody has been looking for him. Everybody. He is 5 foot 5 inches tall. He weighs 120 pounds. Sandy blonde hair, and he wears glasses. And again, there is no footprint of him whatsoever.
You think back, and there might have been a reason he was possibly upset, or something outside that could have enticed him to go outside. Was there anything that came to mind?
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. That morning he was laughing, he was joking. Everyone we were around that day agreed that he seemed like he was in a good mood. He was behaving.
This boy, I've done told y'all, reminds me of my son that had autism, that is my third son. And he disappeared right down the road from part of where my family lives. And I take all of these cases serious. I am not playing about anything right now.
The original thinking was that Sebastian Rogers left home on his own, but the fact that he disappeared without a trace now has authorities looking into the very real possibility of foul play.
I'm not trying to accuse them of anything. I'm trying to tell you how suspicious they are now becoming. Good morning, everybody. Hello. NB4, Victoria, Teddy Bear, Nene Nut Nut, Aurora, Mandy, Michelle, Simone, hello, Karen, Peanut, hello, good morning, Treat Squirrel, Jody, Reiki, and Kathleen. I'm trying to see who we got. I was going backwards. Patty Ponytail, Pins and Needles. Everybody coming in. Hey, Andy, Mike, Lolly, hello, beautiful. I'm sorry if I skipped anybody. Hello. How's everybody doing? I don't even think I come on yesterday. I had a lot going on, and I tried to post and research, and I was wore out. Judy, good morning. Good morning. I hope it's a good day in the neighborhood in Tennessee. I hope they find Sebastian. That's what I hope. I'm hearing a lot of things happen while I was sleeping, and I've been trying to catch up. I hear somebody's not happy and somebody's mad. Good morning, my monkey number 10. Sherry, y'all put them green hearts down and say where you're from, so they know, that the family knows. Hey, J is for Justice. Good morning. So they know where everybody's from, and that we're praying for Sebastian and all the things, because around the world, we definitely are. We still have this Amber Alert, and it is over a month, and Sebastian has still not been found. And he is 15, male, white, brown hair, brown eyes, 5'5", 120 pounds. He's from Sumner County, Tennessee, Hendersonville. And poof, he just disappeared. He's gone. So where is he? And just when you think things can't get any worse, boy, do they. They absolutely do. Well, Seth come out the other night, and he said that a 13-year-old boy in California, trigger warning, was around Sebastian under Katie and Mr. Chris's care, and he essayed Sebastian. That was on Justin's TikTok, and drop his link if you want to see that. Here's official information from TBI. They're not saying anybody's suspects. They are not saying anybody's suspects. They have not said there is foul play, but they have not said there is not foul play. Again, I'm not trying to accuse anybody, but I have thoughts. That's just me. Oh, Jay, thank you so much. Thank you. You didn't have to do that, honey. Look, any decent person would do this. Any decent person. We know there's a lot of decent and there's a lot of non-decent. And you're one of the good girls. Thank you for all you do, Jay. You do a lot of good stuff on a lot of cases. Somebody please drop her link. Please. She does a lot of good things. And I love her. I love her. There's Justin's TikTok. He is on YouTube. And a lot came out the other night. Seth said that this is the bio dad, said that you're supposed to protect your kids. And so he said, no, she was not a good mother when directly asked that question. And look, y'all can say, I don't know all what's been going on. I know bits and pieces. You can say whatever you want about Seth coming out now. But Seth has been busy trying to pound the pavement, per se, and search for his son every single day. Every day, and do everything he can to get the word out. He's done everything a parent should. And he's used the platforms in every way that he could when he was up there. I don't see anybody else doing that. Everybody else has had a platform, but they want to talk about me. Period. And we can all agree to disagree. That's fine. But when he was directly, and you're going to blow at some point. I don't care. I say watch those chill ones. Yes, he tried to protect Katie in the beginning because he was smart about that. In my opinion, he was smart about that. Look, he didn't come out here swinging and bashing the mother of his child. He did not do that. She was quick on mine, though, to jump in there when I asked about an insurance policy and talk about, his dad does, though. His dad does. Well, honey, his dad has what everybody should have, a little Gerber life insurance policy. That ain't nothing. And it don't change. And I suggest everybody get one. Even the grandparents can get one on their grandchildren. Anybody can get one. That's nothing. The question was, does anybody have one? Do you have one, Katie? Does Mr. Chris have one? Nobody's answered that yet. But it don't matter what we say or ask. Ellie knows that. Don't think Ellie don't know what they're doing. Good morning, everybody coming in. Absolutely. Like PG says, abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. But she's mad. She wants to come out now? She wants to come out now? She wants to come out now? Because you know why she wants to come out now? Because now she thinks this really looks bad. Oh, so did my grandmother, Bob. And then when I got married and went on, she gave it to me and I was stupid. I cashed mine in. I was stupid. Stupid. But, you know, It's crazy. Crazy. But here's the thing. Seth tried to keep all that quiet. A person can only take so much. And then he come out about it. You know why? Because people are doubting. He's the one out there doing things. There is different parts of grief, like y'all have been yelling all along. Yes, there sure is. In my opinion, Seth has been in shock. Now he's at the mad stage. Now he's at the mad stage. And he's been poked and poked and poked. And people are trying to take flyers down, tear them up in the community. They're trying to stop everybody from searching. They're getting death threats. People, everybody, I don't care who they are. Even Nancy Grace said she saw those. A man, no matter how strong, can only take so much. So he spilled the beans. Do you think that was easy for him to say that and let the world know about his own only son? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Everybody does have their breaking point. Everybody. And he's at his. I believe so, Roxy, that's just my opinion and my opinion only. Yeah, everybody in chat, I can't see everything going so fast, but please be respectful. You can have your opinions respectfully. We can all agree to disagree, but just please have your opinions respectfully, please. I don't like to block or time out, but I will. I don't, please. And Millie, let's pray for her brother. He just had a biopsy this morning, and I got other mods that are, there's things going on in their personal life, and please be kind to my mods and everybody, okay? I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to concentrate, and I will block you because this is serious. It is about Sebastian. Although everybody thinks we don't have to pull this in and that in. Well, yes, I think it's important. And this is my show. So I will do what I feel is important. Hey, Shelly. It don't matter really what. It does matter. Kitty cat, hey. It don't really matter what LE's doing. They're LE. That's their job. My job is to keep his name and face out and try to get the facts out there. And this is what we do. Okay. And the facts are coming from, well, we don't know that they're facts or not, but most of the facts, I know Seth's facts and everything is coming from the parents and what they said. So there's that. And what we do research on and vet and put out. So again, there's that. Thank you, Hawk. And yeah, that's right. There's never been a search like this. Again, where is this child? Where's this child? It's beyond me. And again, I feel if the National Guards, the Secret Service, and everybody cannot find this child, and it's just my opinion, at least going to do what they want. TBI, FBI is going to do what they want. But then if we can't find him, then they need to let the neighborhood know something's wrong. You better hold your kids close. Okay. All right. Thank you. I sure will. Thank you. Kay said, my father-in-law is a retired detective. He says Ellie is in evidence finding mode. Yes, because they will be working a theory. Yes. And I feel, look, I've talked to so many people offline that I can't put out, or I would not put out, that I promise you, Ellie they know what they're doing. Look, y'all know in Summer's case, I went hard on Ellie for a long time, especially at the beginning. In this case, Ellie knows what they're doing. And in my opinion, they're building a case. They may not come out and say, you know, they're trying to see if they don't know. They're trying to see if it's foul play or whatever. But look, when you lock yourself in the house, and I mean, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They're just not. Again, we've all seen the post and the video and everything that Seth said. So again, early on in this case, when all the sleuths, what about this, Katie? You're mad right now. You might need to turn that frown upside down, because you're mad. You come out swinging. I didn't have a chance to get it, but it's on JLR also this morning. If a JLR investigates, y'all can put it down. I don't think I'm going to try to share and all that this morning, because I have a lot to do and I want to try to get through this. So I'm going to do it my old smiley way, even though I'm learning and I can share now. Yay. I'm so proud of that. Thanks to Dino teaching me. Yay. But what about this, Katie? If Seth is such a bad person, which thank you, Kay. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you. Which I'm going to tell y'all, if somebody put something out about my child like that, I probably would have been upset too. There's no doubt. I'm not going to lie. Some things you want to keep private, some things you can't. But here's the thing. Katie, you're mad because that was on your watch, and again, on your husband, Mr. Chris's watch, that this happened with your child. Once again, as Seth said, he didn't feel you were a good mother. The system in California let Seth down, let Sebastian down, more importantly. And you as a mother let Sebastian down. You chose a man. You chose these men. You chose everybody over Sebastian, in my opinion. What about this, Katie? How about turning your frown upside down? Because early on in this case, and listen up, early on in this case, it was Hip Gallatin or Hip Hendersonville. I have it in my 20,000 photos. I got it. I'll get it, Shelly. She said I could look at it in a minute, and I will. Definitely. Thank you so much. What about, Katie, that you was in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and put out an ad for strangers to come watch your son? Why? Knowing the trauma that he had been through, and this is way before we knew about you, you knew about us, or we knew about what happened to him on your watch and Mr. Chris's watch. That's just like making a post in Craigslist, and we know all about the Craigslist killers and all the things. So what about all that? And funny face, you know exactly where it's at. It's in my 20,000 pictures now. If you might want to message it to me again, so I'll have it on top and I'll read it to them. But what about that, Miss Katie? But why didn't you allow Seth Was that on one of the things where your husband was up in Memphis working and you just wanted a night out? Or was that, why did you need somebody to watch him? You had one kid, I had four. I have one with autism. I didn't have any babysitters. I can count 4 times probably after I moved from Nashville to Florida. And 2 of them was when I was in the hospital having the other babies. There's nowhere you can't carry your kids. What was your problem, miss? What was your problem? TBI may have already knew the stuff. I'm sure they did. Again, TBI is not coming out saying nothing. Smiley's coming out saying something. And I don't mean to be rude to you. There's people in here that don't know that. TBI has an obligation to keep stuff close to the vest and keep things tight-lipped. So does TBI and LE. I don't have no gag order. Smiley can say what she wants to say. I have thoughts and opinions. This is America. Just saying. I'm just saying. That means Katie, everything that happened pretty much under her watch. And going forward, it also means that she allowed, in my opinion only, the abuse. That means physical belt, mental, military style, verbal, of her child. Thank you, reality. Welcome. Military style and everything in between that you can think of on her only child, Sebastian, under her roof, on her watch. I do too. Thank you, little bit. Thank you. She said, I think Seth has been against these demons the same way Nina has been for all these years. Christ wrote that response, not Katie. Chris wrote that response, not Katie. Absolutely. You could tell in the wording. Absolutely. But regardless, that came under on your watch in your home. And none of that is very encouraging for Sebastian, not at all. Not in my opinion. And I can say it from a mother, a grandmother, a human being, a mother of a child with autism, who is now 28, by the way. I didn't just get rid of him. I didn't pawn him off. I didn't try to do anything, but I got him all the services he needed. And I had other things going on too. So I don't understand you, ma'am. I don't. I'm sorry. I know everybody's not the same. But you didn't have anything other to do except one obligation, one child. You got into money, had a beautiful home, a beautiful life. You didn't seem to struggle. So again, what is your problem? Thank you, Rendezvous 1203. Thank you so much. Hey, Sin. And then you told me You sit there. I asked you, how did you spend time on my interview? I said, how did you spend time with Sebastian? I spent time before, blah, 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 blah. When? You seem to be on the phone all the time with your hubby. Because in the same breath, you told me that was normal to be on the phone with him 3 hours at night. Well, if you worked, Sebastian went to school, he had to be at bed at 9, you fixed dinner. I mean, when? When did you spend time with him, ma'am? That's what I want to know. But it's none of my business. It's just my opinions. Just my opinion. And I'll be willing to bet y'all anything. I'll be willing to bet you anything that those messy rooms, which again, I can't see what we've seen of her house. I can't see an autistic child of any stature having a messy room because they like stuff in order. But I can't see the things that military man came in there and threw away was anything that they spent money on. I guarantee you probably the stuff that he threw away, bagged up and literally threw away, was something that Sebastian loved, like probably stuff his dad bought or his grandma sent or something to that nature. Again, that's my opinion and my opinion only. But I'm on a roll this morning because I'm so mad that Katie's decided to come out. But she's decided to come out on this. She's decided to come out on this. Again, bad advice given to Katie. In my opinion, bad advice. Bad advice. Again, for those coming in that don't know, it was said the other night by the bio dad that in California, Chris and Katie had a 13-year-old boy around Sebastian, which was 5 years younger than this boy. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it did. This boy, and again, I don't know if it was kin to them or it was a boy, I don't know. But they allowed him to come in and play with Sebastian, and he SA'd him. So it wasn't enough that he was traumatized by this. There was a CPS case. All the things were done. However, she's mad about that now. The laws nothing could be done in California because the boy was basically, their words, a child himself, blah, blah, blah. I did my research and I found out that is true, especially in California. Shame on you, California. Shame on you. No wonder y'all got problems. But that also brings me back to Katie. Again, she goes to Hendersonville, and then she, marries into money, whatever. She still puts in Hip Gallatin. She needs babysitter for, and then she lets them know he's got problems, which in my opinion, this is just my opinion, you really wouldn't advertise that. That would bring in the pedos, in my opinion. But you really would need to do that once they come and visit you and do that. And then you would need to do a full background check and all the things, not just for your just dragging people out of the woodwork and to come stay with your already traumatized son. Yeah, they just sweep everything under the rug. And her and Mr. Chris both knew about this. What? I mean, what? Yeah, they were both in the military. And they just wanted to sweep it under the rug. Hey, Carrie, beautiful. Katie, as a mother, never protected Sebastian in the way that he needed protecting, in my opinion. That's just me and my opinion. But I know hundreds of you that feel the same way. Why is Katie mad now? Why? You should have been mad on February 26th, February 25th, 26th. You should have been mad then. Oh, and we find out when Seth gets there, guess who's there? Oh, I know y'all already know because I'm behind because I do have a life outside of YouTube. Oh, Kathy. Kathy's there. You know, Chris's mom. Well, y'all say, well, she could have rushed down there. She could have helped. Okay, yeah, she could have. Sure could have. Yep. Could have. Yep, lots of silly things. Oh, you didn't hear that one, funny face? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's nice to see somebody misses things and is behind on stuff. Yeah, sure did. And if you listen to that call, I don't know if it was part 1 or part 2 now. And thank you for the first one I heard on Jay for Justice, and drop her link because she's got a lot of stuff, good stuff. But also somebody resent that to me, and then they sent me the second part. And I put that out yesterday, put them both out again yesterday on my community post. If you listen to it, I think it's in part 1. If you listen to it real close, there's a couple of things in there that caught my attention again. One, they all agree he's not a runner, which is in part 1. I know it is. In part 1, it said here a while back, Sebastian was under a car by the neighbor that was given to Ellie 3 doors down, I believe, which brings me to say, well, why is Sebastian hiding under a car? What was he running from? Who was he running from? Why was he running? Was that a one-time incident? Hey, Robin, what was going on? I don't know. I'm sure Ellie knows. Scared, exactly. And was at a time when Chris was home. So again, I don't know. Again, if he was a runner, I'm concerned now. Does his bio dad even know this? Because they've tried to keep so much from him, especially the CPS incident. And shame on CPS. But again, I have to go, shame on CPS. Hey, Green Eyed PI. But what if there's no telling what Katie and Mr. Chris told CPS if the truth was known about the father that caused them not to track Mr. Seth down? Yep, there's red flags everywhere. Everywhere. But you got to sit back and just decipher all this. Yes, I did. He had, hold on. he had to call. Yes, he did call in a welfare check on Sebastian, because Katie and Chris, yes, I did. Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot to put that in here this morning. Absolutely. He had a welfare check called in on Sebastian because Katie and Chris had a SA registered offender in the apartment inside with Sebastian. He said on his court TV interview, absolutely. Oh my God, I fell asleep last night. I did. I was like, what the holy heck? Shame on you both. Shame on you both. Absolutely. And yes, that she did not deny. She did not deny. And can we please clean up can we put graped, please? So can we do that? Absolutely. Absolutely. They did not deny that. Absolutely. He served 9 years in prison. Sure did. Absolutely. Served 9 years in prison. Absolutely. It was like, what? What? Smiley and Nancy interviewed Katie, made sure to say Chris wasn't home that weekend. Why was the back door blocked? Something not right with him. Here's the thing. That's one of the reasons I went over all the doors and everything. They locked their cell, or she locked herself in. But hey, in my opinion, he put himself there when he said we 2 or 3 times. But especially when I was asking about the windows, I was asking about the windows, y'all, because I wanted to know. I wasn't even thinking off the top of my head, could Sebastian go out a window? Even though teens do that, I was asking, could somebody have come in a window that she didn't know about, got him when she went to sleep, and went out the front door, because they're so sure he went out the front door. Chris made it his business to tell me. If Sebastian would have went out the window after they confirmed they were all locked, the screens were on there, there's no way, nobody in or out. Chris made it his business to, again, stick his foot in his mouth and say Sebastian could not have went out the window because he would have fell in a flower bed and we would have heard him. Make it make sense. Well, we would have? Who's we? Chris? I don't know. But again, in my opinion, as a mother, she never protected her son. She never protected her son. You want a babysitter while you go do what you do, and you'll pull one out of any old for sale news where you post shit for sale to come babysit your son. But you won't get a little bit of a babysitter to come watch your son that's reputable while you are gone that little bit, while you're at work, to stay with your son knowing he has issues and water on the head or brain or whatever the issue is, that he could fall and hurt himself and be in the house by himself. That's also why I asked, does he know what to do in case of a fire or anything like that? I mean, get over yourself, Katie. You ain't damn Susie Homemaker either. And you ain't Mother of the Year, in my opinion. Yes, this is my email. I'll check all my emails when I get off of here. Um, the Katie makes constant reference to food in the interviews. Makes me wonder if she didn't use with it. Yes, absolutely. And it's possible. You never know. Let me tell you something. I don't want to say that on here. Because if they're in here and I just know they had a control. I'm gonna say it anyway. I know that they controlled. Let me say this. I know somebody that's, and it had nothing to. Well, it's somebody that I know. Thank you, Giselle. Thank you. If y'all got a membership, please, please, thank her. She gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. Okay, so I know somebody one time, that they don't, and some people may be like this. So I don't know. I'd be almost willing to bet that households like that. I don't know for sure. I would like somebody to go in. Well, now they probably go buy a slew of groceries. It don't matter. Look, I know somebody one time. I still know them. I don't have anything to do with them or whatever. I don't have to, thank God. It's not me directly, like me and this person or whatever, but they met. Okay, God, how am I going to explain this? All right, let's just say this person married somebody else, okay, and they had children, so it was a stepdad involved. And the stepdad, look, you had to be there and they have money. You have to be there the kids had to be out of that house when they go to work, go to school. It just had to be like that. You had to be home or you were locked out of the house. They didn't even have problems. Okay. Um, let's see. You had to, I come to find out later, you had to, okay, if they ate at home, they had to spread out the newspaper on the kitchen table and they had to eat the sandwiches or whatever. But what they did was, thank you, Cassie, what they did was every night they went out to places like Red Lobster, all the, Texas Roadhouse, Longhorn, whatever, all the places to eat because this person had money. They still own a business, whatever, all the things. Everything. And if I'm very careful because I don't want to mention their name, it doesn't matter. All the people are grown and gone and whatever now. But it had to be like that. And if those kids did not, wasn't there to eat, they didn't eat. It was control, period. That's just the way it was. Getting back to that, I would just like to find out anybody, I bet you $10 to a donut, you didn't have to worry about going to that house and them having lots of food there or whatever. Maybe something to drink here and there. I bet their refrigerator wasn't filled. I bet the cabinets wasn't filled. I bet it wasn't like that at their house. I bet it's more like what I say. I'm just saying. I know people like this. This is real life, y'all. This is real life. It's real life. When you think it's not, don't let looks deceive. And somebody wants to know, like, what is the difference or what is the similarities between Summer Wells and this case? One has money, one don't. One's kinder, one's not. I mean, what I mean by that is, like Don, he has more He's more likable and one's not. Simple. That's it. That's it. They both vanished in thin air. Period. With parents home. That's about it. That's about it. In my opinion. In my opinion. You want my opinion? That's my opinion. You know, that's my opinion. So she allowed herself, in my opinion, to choose her son over a man and her own flesh and blood. That's just me. And she made that child live in fear like he was a damn soldier. He was under strict and cruel circumstances living, and punishment, in my opinion, of course. And so this woman is very cold. She's cold-hearted, in my opinion. She's evil, and she's capable of anything, in my opinion only. At the very least, there may not be any signs through the law's eyes, or at least that they can say right now, of foul play or anything like that, because either they can't or they won't. But in my eyes, at the very least, there was absolutely child neglect and abuse going on, mentally, physically, and otherwise. And in case they're so dumb they did not know it, they can still be charged with that by CPS. Just saying. Don't forget about that for 1 minute, people, because they can, and they just might. As Seth said, and this is another reason they're pissed off, this is the reason. Everybody wanted to know? Well, here it is. This is the reason Mr. Chris, did not want Sebastian around his daughter, because he thought that what they let happen to Sebastian would somehow rub into Sebastian, and Sebastian would do the same thing to his daughter. Let that sink in. So, did they sacrifice one child for the other? I don't know. I don't know. So Katie Proudfoot lashes out. You should have lashed out over a month ago, Katie. You should have lashed out over a month ago. You have every right to be upset that this came out. Again, I would be too, especially. But why are you trying to keep that private? HIPAA laws, maybe? You can do whatever you wish. It's a free country. You can think whatever you want, just like we can. Katie Proudfoot is right about one thing she said, or whoever wrote that for her, or whoever is coaching her. I will give them credit about one thing they said. God does know the truth, and the truth will come out. The dark always comes to light. Someone knows Absolutely someone knows. Who is that someone? Katie, Mr. Chris. Who is it? Y'all know. Joe Biden? That's your opinion. And you're welcome to have it. Although he does have quite a few alibis. You're welcome to have it. Don't block them. I'm going to let them have it. Let them have it. At least Seth is going to take a polygraph, right? Where's yours, Chris? Where's yours, Chris? Yeah, Seth is guilty of being a great father. Every kid should have a great father like that. Honestly. Honestly. But Katie, don't be mad, because you should have come out and used these platforms and try to fight for your kid instead of all the things you're not doing. It's what you're not doing is the problem. That's the problem, ma'am. What you're not doing, what you're not saying, what you're not standing for. And a person can only take so much, especially when it comes to their children. And I feel Seth is at that point. And FYI, for those in the back of the room, never underestimate a calm, cool, and collected person. I think Seth has been more than fair. I think he's tried to protect more than he should have, more than I would have. I think he's done everything he possibly could right, but now he's pissed off, as he should be. But those are the ones you gotta watch. Katie, bar the door. You don't need to worry about the loud mouth, thuggish Mr. Chris's in the world. You just don't. The ones spitting out their henchmen, backhanding little babies, children that's not theirs, women trying to intimidate, making three-way calls to 911, doing all the things. Those are not the ones you got to worry about. In the meantime, Sebastian is who is important. There's still searches going on. And Sebastian is who is important, and he needs to be found. And I'm going to play this out, and I appreciate everyone who's come in. I appreciate all my mods. I appreciate all the subs. I appreciate the ones that don't sub, that just come in to watch. I appreciate the ones that will be on replay. I will get off of here and look at the emails. And I want you to know I love you and I thank you. Thank you for any supers or memberships or anything like that. I'm still learning. Thank you, Hawk. I'm still learning to do the shares, which I think I got that down. Now I got to learn to get everything together in file style. But anyway, it's okay. It's all good in Smiley's hood. You believe that it's all good in Smiley's hood. We want it to be good in Sebastian's hood, in his hood, okay? Because this is what matters. And I back Seth 1,000%. They're still searching. There's ground searches going on, and he will be found. And you're right, the truth will come out. Turn your smile, turn your frown upside down, Katie. Okay, let's play this out. I love this. I love this. I love this.
Everywhere you go, you can hear the laughter. Little kids playing, chasing after. Innocence shines bright like a built-in light. With their giggles and smiles, everything feels right. Oh, the joy of little children filling up the air. Their happiness, contagious, nothing can compare. Just watch them run and play, carefree and wild. Oh, the joy of little children.
I just love that, and thank you. Somebody made that for me, and it did go out in my in the YouTube world land. And then I got to thinking about it. I thought, I'm going to use that sometimes for my intro and outro. I know y'all can see all the back, but I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love Sebastian, and I love everything about his smile, and he makes me happy. And I hope we can see him smile again soon. And that would be the best thing if he's brought back to his dad safe. Y'all keep the prayers going, and I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you.